Greetings everyone, I'm Nick Alamonos, back with another Dungeons & Dragons video. One of the things you may have noticed from my previous video are these things here, okay? Now, what are these things? These things are little beads that you can pretty much find in any hobby store like Hobby Lobby or Michael's. And they're designed for people that want to make like their own little bracelets or necklaces. You just slip these beads on a little rope, and you can make your own bracelet. And as you can see here, they come in all shapes and sizes. And with a little bit of imagination, these things serve really good as pots and vases. And if you think of it as a larger pot, I think it works pretty good. If those pots seem a little big, you can actually use these things, which I found recently, and they're just the perfect size for pretending that your characters discover these little vases or pots. Right here I have an official Dungeons and Dragons ox that I painted, and over here we have an unofficial sheep, and as you can see, it is the perfect scale. So whenever I find anything like this sheep or this chicken, okay, chicken might be a little big for a D&D scale, but it could be just a larger chicken. So yeah, these cows and chickens and sheep, you can pretty much find them, bags of them for $4 or $5, and they're the perfect scale. And I love using them because it just adds to that ambience. Okay, so in my last video, I showed you guys things that you could use to make Dungeons and Dragons miniatures and props like houses and stuff. Now I want to show you the different types of things that are out there that I'm sure you've seen online, and you've probably been wondering whether or not you should buy these for your table. So the first thing that I want to show you is this. These are basically paper cardboard houses that you can make, and there's a lot of pros to this. First and foremost, they're very lightweight. They're not very expensive, and they're fairly easy to make. And since they already come pre-painted or pre-colored, you don't have to worry about painting these. So something like this probably would cost around, I don't know, maybe $10-15, and will probably take you about 20 minutes to fold together, maybe less. The only downside is that it might be a little bit small. So as you can see there, if we just zoom in on the door there, it doesn't quite look like our characters could fit through the door. But if you're not too worried about the scale, I think these are pretty nice. And some of them actually have interiors, which are nice. The interiors are a little small, so you probably wouldn't get too much, playability. But you could fit a character in there. They're a little simple, but they're easy and cheap. And so I for the most part, I recommend these. This is a little different. It's like between like a hard cardboard and a plastic-like material. And the pros of this is it looks a little more three-dimensional, a little more realistic. As you can see, you have these details that come out a little more than the cardboard house. But the con to this is that this thing is extremely difficult to put together. I actually got very, very frustrated. These come in little pieces, and they're super delicate. And as I was trying to pry these separate pieces apart from the little base, they would frequently snap and break off. And then you have to kind of glue them together. It doesn't snap together, and that's why I actually did not a really good job. So I actually do not recommend this unless you're really good at at putting things together. If you're the type of person that likes to make like model cars and stuff, then I would say pick these up. These you can get again from Europe. There's a European imports. I think this came from Poland. And the plus side to this is that out of the three houses so far, this one I think is the most realistic looking. It has the most three dimensionality to it. It has the most details. And it's also very easy to put together. For the most part, it's already assembled. You just have to, put on the roof and a few other things. But the assembly is almost non-existent. The con though is that you do have to paint it. So if you like painting, or if you're a really good painter, and you care a lot about realism, then this is something I'd recommend. But this thing here cost me about $50-$60. It's very, very delicate. These are very easy to break. I actually dropped a set like this once, and part of it chipped off. So you do not want to drop this, or it might break. Another con is, and I didn't know this just by looking at the pictures online, is that this rooftop doesn't snap on. It just kind of floats on the top, and there's really nothing to secure it. And so if you're worried about the roof just flying off while you're playing, that might be a concern. But again, what's nice about this, a lot of the details you can see here. You got a little shield and rope. You got these little blacksmith's tools here. As you can see, you got a lot of really nice details, like an anvil, little fireplace there, the flue thing. You got a barrel. All this, came with the set. And it has a really nice interior. It gives you a little bit of room where you can actually play inside. If you have a furniture from some other, collections, you can just you can fill this house with things that you want. So I think this is a fairly good alternative if you have the money and if you like painting, and you're not worried about breaking this. Then I would recommend this. Okay, here's a really cheap option. You can get these at a craft store like Hobby Lobby or Michael's or Joann's. Usually in the sections where they sell things like fairy houses or gnome houses or things like that, things for your yard, you can find these. And a lot of times they look kind of cutesy and not really too serious for D&D, but sometimes you can get something really cool like this tower. And I like this because it's very much to scale with Dungeons and Dragons. It comes pre-painted. It's relatively sturdy. You don't have to worry about breaking it. And it's relatively cheap. The only downside is there's not really a lot of play value with this. So the roof doesn't open, the doors and windows don't open. So you really can't interact with this too much. It's pretty much there. It just something that just looks nice. Okay, now finally we have something where if you don't mind spending a lot of money and you're looking for the very best prop you can get something like this. It comes pre-painted and it has a lot of nice realistic detail. And it also has a lot of playability because this entire tower comes apart. So if you want to run a battle on the top of the tower, you can. You can have miniature guards on the inside shooting arrows. This could be something that your players have to defend, or it could be something that your players have to attack to get into the tower to defeat some boss, or maybe find the entrance to a dungeon underneath. All right, so as you can see here, I took the top off. It's a little tricky to get it off, but here you have a really nice stairwell. And again, you can use this different level. You can decorate this with different, furniture and different little props. The stairs come off like so. And then you can take off this level. And then it leads to another level and another set of stairs, which is removable. Now, These have little magnets which helps it stick, but the magnets don't really work that great. The stairs are a little loose, so I'm not too thrilled with that. But it's not a big deal. It still looks really good. And again, you have another level that you can play in. You can even like put some monsters or guards down there for your characters to interact with as they go down this level. And then you remove it, and then you have one final level. The downside to something like this is that it does, cost a lot of money, and you really have to ask yourself, how often are you really going to use something like this? And to be perfectly honest, I spent $100 on it. I play D&D about twice a month, and I bought this last year, and I've only used it once. I've only really come up with a good occasion to use it one time. So I'm sure I'll use it again in the future, but not really sure if something like this is really worth the money. The other thing I should probably mention is that this thing is really heavy, and it did take me about, I don't know, 3-4 minutes just to put it all back together. These pieces didn't line up just right. So, when you're picking it up, there is a risk that all these are going to fall off. And if they fell to the ground, I don't know what would happen. I definitely don't want to test it, but I have a feeling that if you drop this tower, it would definitely crack. So those are just some of the options of things you can buy for your Dungeons and Dragons table. Now, if there's something that I missed or something that you think I should check out, please let me know in the comments. And if you found this video informative, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.